American, arrogant, throwing fits, ripping shit, tearing it, imperative. Then I'm killing this mic no matter where I live. These derelict rappers acting a fool, this embarrassing is flagrant. That's the nature of this entertainment, and we can't even change it. Guilty before arraignment, now the system tainted. But when we speak, they all laugh at us. And y'all wonder why I'm lacking trust. Try to fight a giant with attorneys that can back them up. That's church versus science, both sides start acting up. I'm late on my assignment, hopping up a mile high, climbing, obviously never silent. New alignment, I'm defiant, cannot describe it. Used to describe it as a young graffiti artist. Before the beard, I always got carded. Hit every bar, even though my bar's been the hardest. The scars on my face, and I ain't always been the smartest. But I'll show you where my heart is. I said I'll show you where my heart is. I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeve, even if the beat stops my soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday. Little sports nonsense and whiskey, hanging with the fellas. Gentlemen, how we doing this evening?
What's cracking?
I am tired. I'm ready for a long rest.
No rest for the wicked, my friend.
No, for real. I got a whole bunch of bigwigs to entertain this week too, so it'll be fun. Gonna have a good time.
Yeah, buddy.
Good. Yes, sir. And the World Cup's, just popping off, so it's a great time. Great time. I'm loving this.
Well, to the fathers in the room, happy Father's Day, boys.
Yes, happy Father's Day, everyone. And Cody when he gets back.
Caleb, you do anything fun for Father's Day?
I was camping in the mountains all weekend. First time with the fam. Tent camping, first time for the wife and the kids. So that was a bit of an interesting experience.
Was that with the Stevensons?
No, just us.
Oh.
Went up by Salida. Place called Cuddy's Campground or something like that. But they've got setups for trailers with electricity and water and everything, and then they've got sites for just tents and stuff too. So rented a tent. They got a mess hall. They've got indoor outdoor swimming pool, mini golf, like bunch of activities. There's a creek that runs through the place, so plenty of activities, a lot of fun. We're going back in a month. And
nice.
Think I've got some things figured out to make the experience a little smoother, hopefully. And it's good. It reminded me of getting to do some of those things when I was young, and then growing up all the way until I was probably, 30. It's probably the last time I went tent camping after I got married and started having kids and stuff. Haven't been for a while, so it's fun. Gets out, go do something. Zero service. Like you get up into the mountains there. The place is sitting right below Bushnell Peak, I think it is. It's a 13 footer. So it's back up in there. So yeah, no phone stopped working as you start driving in there, and you're like, well, guess that's out for the weekend. Then I put it away and then realized how often I wanted to have it on me because going to take pictures and stuff. And I'm like, well, those are just going to be memories devoted to my mind that get erased here in a couple of years, unfortunately. But it's fun. It's fun. Good Father's Day. What about you guys?
My Father's Day was great. Got breakfast made for me. Then I ended up taking an afternoon nap and was left alone, which is always nice. One of those afternoon naps and you still wake up and you're still tired. So overall, my weekend was great.
Nice.
Took my dad to a movie and lunch Saturday. And then my son came down Sunday, cooked breakfast for all of us. His omelets are freaking awesome. I got a new toy from Harmony. Gunther.
Nice.
Yeah.
A ring general.
And then when Pinky Jr. got off work, we went and played mini golf, and he won again. But it was a lot closer this time. Me, Hannah, and Pinky Jr. were the only ones there, and we actually had a pretty competitive round. I think only won by like 3 shots, and that's usually he wins by a lot. So we were shooting pretty good.
Solid.
Nice. I will say I didn't miss my phone, but I did miss not seeing the sporting events that were going on. And it made me think, and I am now looking into getting a Starlink so that I can just have that access.
That's what my sister
anywhere.
has. That's what my sister has. She really loves it.
Yeah,
I've
Starlink's
heard a lot
dope,
of good
bro.
things about it. I mean, Rogan has talked it up left and right, but you got to take that one with a grain of salt, obviously.
My father-in-law out east here in town, where there's no real internet connection out there, he has Starlink and it works flawlessly.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, Rogan, I've seen an episode where he talked about how he was elk hunting, I think it was. So he's up in the boonies of Nowhereville, you know, the extreme backwoods. He's like, yeah, we set that up and watched the fights. And I was like,
Nice.
well, yeah, I'm going to probably need to look into that. Let the
I
kids
love it.
go to sleep in the tent, sit by the campfire, watch whatever's on. Sounds like the absolute epitome of camping.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Well, let's get going. We got a jam-packed show, quite a bit of things to chat about.
Give a rundown, Peaky. What are we discussing this
We
evening?
got World Cup. We got some NBA kicking off. We got NHL coming up. Some things going on there. And then if we have some time, I got an NFL topic that's always fun to talk about. And we'll see how it goes. But we'll kick it off. I got to say, I love this World Cup where all the Europeans are talking about coming to America for the first time and experiencing some of the freedoms and greatness that we have here in America, like not having to pay to go to the bathroom, getting free refills, getting large portions of food and actually good tasting food.
Oh, man.
Not all Europeans know that struggle, but English do.
My favorite one is the Japanese guy getting Texas barbecue, and it's bigger than his face. It's so good.
The Scottish people like pretty much drinking Boston Dry.
No, they not they did. They had to call an emergency beer orders
Yeah,
because they
I've
drank
heard that a couple
Boston
places
Dry.
Too. The Scots drink Boston Dry.
I love
Leave it
that.
to the Scots.
And now they're going to Miami next. So it's
Oh, dude.
going to Miami.
They're gonna see some stuff down there in Miami. They're not gonna have that.
They're not ready, bro. It's oh boy.
I will say the one thing that they'll notice though, the drinks are a lot more expensive in Miami than they are in Boston. So
for sure.
they're gonna have a little bit of an awakening there. Like $20 for a beer? Are you kidding me? So we'll see if they drink Miami Dry. I don't know if they can afford it, but who knows?
I mean,
it is
Who
fun
knows?
watching all the people
Boston's not
realize
cheap
America
either.
is not what the world media and America media has portrayed it to be. And there is a reason it's probably arguably at the top of the list of that greatest countries list.
And,
still.
I mean, I might
There's
just
reasons for it.
I feel like we treat foreigners differently as well. Like we actually treat them like, hey, welcome, and enjoy our country. That like we're all foreigners. Our families all started off as foreigners. So
I mean, I feel like that's America in general. No matter where you go, it's once the political conversation starts, then people feel this deep-rooted need to then choose a side and make it possible for whether or not you can be friends, which I've never understood because I know for a fact we do not all align and we don't have any issues. But whatever, it's good that we're putting on the proper face for the world to see whether it's going to get reported on or not. Which leads to the fact that this World Cup has now been brought up by none other than Mr. Tom Brady himself. And the conversation has thus begun. Is this or is this not the greatest World Cup? Now, there's still a long way to go for that conversation to actually be had, in my opinion. But I think the fact that people are even willing to let that conversation start being had says a lot about how good things have gone. Because, Robert, I know when this was first jumping off, there were people telling you and me like, oh, look at this, it's going to be bad. The tickets aren't going to go, and it won't be sold out. Nobody will come to America to watch it, and this, that, and the other. And we're like, it's the World Cup. It's going to be sold out, and there's going to be people everywhere. So whatever you're listening to or hearing, you're wrong, and that's obviously what we're seeing.
No, yeah, completely. It's become the talk. I mean, the talk of the whole football world and everything of just how much the fans are really enjoying themselves. I mean, dude, the Scots went and took over Fenway Park, and that was one of the most memorable experiences. And the mayor's like, we're going to become sister cities now and all of this. Like, it's just a really cool.
Everywhere they go.
That's Norway.
That's what I said. Norway.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear Norway. Sorry, my bad.
Like,
yeah, no, it's amazing. So seeing a lot of that in our football stadiums is just surreal. It's just awesome to see. Bringing everybody together like that. It's I'm excited to see where the rest of this goes.
Do we need to remind people this is not bragging. This is not like trying to rub it in your face. If this goes and continues to go as well as it has, the USA will host it again. Eventually. Probably sooner rather than later. And one of those big reasons being, we're not using, 65, 70% of our biggest, best stadiums currently? So we still have the infrastructure and capability of hosting all the games if it was ever required or needed without having to rebuild or build anything new for it. And the only complaint I've heard is you can't walk to the stadium. Nah, man, because America isn't tiny. So if you want to get anywhere, the way it's been built is we do automobiles. Like
hey, bro.
Not, it is what it is.
It's cool. We got Uber. Don't worry. They got you.
It's also why tailgating was invented. So if you are from another country and you are not familiar with tailgating, I highly recommend you just go pick a spot in the parking lot, park your butts with a couple chairs, eat and drink your merry way until you want to go into the stadium. Because it's totally acceptable.
No doubt.
Great.
Now, I do have a story from this weekend of soccer. And I know we talked last week. I got a few folks that wanted to call me out about not knowing anything about soccer.
Yeah, that was I was expecting that, the American conversation.
I didn't mind. I still, as a sports fan, there's ties in soccer are ridiculous. Like it is. What made me even realize it even more is Friday, my son Robert invited me to the pub to watch the USA game with some other friends.
Yeah.
We had a great time. It was a fun time. And I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And I'm sitting there at the table, and his friends Sean and Zoe are from Seattle, and they're in town. And Zoe's like she's a soccer fiend.
This the same people you met up with when you guys went up for the
game?
Correct.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
She's a soccer fiend. She's like locked in. Like she's holding this conversation with Robert. Me and Sean are like, yeah, cool. Like, you guys are chatting wavelength. Zoe's like, hey, Kansas City's not too far away. We could go to that game tomorrow. We could make it. It's only like 9 hours. And she's looking up tickets. And nosebleeds were like $450 for this game, right? And I kept thinking to myself, oh, like that'd be fun to go see it, but then also like that's kind of a drive on one day. That game ended 0-0.
Yeah, it'd have been terrible to pay for.
Do you know how pissed off I'd be if I spent $450 on a nosebleed ticket to be there, and I'm watching a 0-0 game and being like, oh, I guess I go home now. Like I would be like, I did it, never again. Like never, ever. I'm done. I've been out.
Yeah, you can't unless it's your team. That's definitely not worth it. If it is your team,
that was something obscure like Ecuador versus someone else. Like it was not one that you're like, ooh, I want to go see. I want to pay $450 to see this.
Not. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, no. Look, but so if we want to give our defense side of all of this. First of all, this isn't the first time we've had this conversation about a sport. So, us being consistent with this idea and topic has its own receipts. We've talked about this with the NFL for a long time. We've talked about it in a bunch of other scenarios as well. Ties suck.
Big
Plain
time.
and simple. You may as well not play the game. I also played the sport, grew up around it, competitively. And you can say, well, I'm an American, so it's not the same. Well, okay. Like, I'm not going to listen to that because I think it's absolutely ridiculous. As these guys have pointed out, I'll watch quarter flipping if it's the only thing available, and I'll become an expert in it. It's kind of my thing.
Caleb does love his Ocho.
Were the two that I really played growing up. And so I understand the game as well. I will never understand, and I've never understood why ties are ever acceptable. And like you said, Pinky, I get it. Point system, like hockey, and you can get this, that, and the other. How about no? How about instead of getting a point for a tie, it's just a win or a loss? How about that? How about you get 3 points or you don't get anything? How about, and then people always bring up that, well, the game would last too long then. Then figure out something else. And they're like, well, you can't decide it on PKs. They're already a part of the game in that way. It's not like you'd be creating something completely new. You would just be making sure you don't get a tie. So play the golden rule for another 10 minutes. Nobody scores, then go to PKs. But yeah, no. Ties, Pinky's absolutely right in this scenario. It's not an American take. It's not a don't understand the sport take. It's the game was invented with a purpose in mind. That purpose in mind is to win. To win, you have to score more than the other person. Ties were invented by somebody who said, damn, I'm not as good, but I want credit for not allowing you to beat me. And then somebody along the way agreed, I guess.
Right. Oh. All right. Before we talk about any other countries, because I know you guys can do it, I have watched 2 games now. And we got to talk about the U.S. men's soccer team.
USA.
I don't know if I want you two talking about U.S. men's soccer, though.
I'm not saying a single word, Caleb. I don't know if you noticed.
Hey, I'm still Deutschland forever. Let's go.
Exactly.
I'm not saying
what I am enjoying about this, of course, anytime USA is good at anything in the Olympics, that's kind of the other version of this is Olympics. Absolutely. With World Cup. When USA is good, everybody's paying attention. It brings us together. As a sports fan, there's nothing better than watching a live sporting event where everybody is bought in. Everybody's rooting for USA. Now, typically, we're rooting for the women's USA team, not the men's, because the men's team usually sucks. So to have this opportunity to actually have the men doing well, like, you might see some crazy ratings as we get further along in this World Cup.
As if you haven't already.
True. But those ratings will get higher and higher of people like invested in USA's in the knockout round. Oh, I want to watch that. USA's.
What did I see? If I remember correctly, it was the Super Bowl had 130 million people that watched. The opening game of the World Cup
2
saw
billion.
1.2 billion or something like that.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
That's like, just start recognizing that this sport is, whether you like it in America or not, the rest of the world kind of pays attention a little bit.
That's like, Caleb, I'm sure you can name this sport because you're pretty crazy with your knowledge. What's the other most viewed sport that nobody thinks about?
Cricket.
Well, thanks, Robert. Yeah. Thanks for chiming in, Caleb.
Hey, I knew the answer to that. Come on.
I feel like cricket's a bit of a and I've had this argument with people before and they don't agree, and that's fine. I don't blame them, but it's a bit of an anomaly because it's really one country in the world that props up their numbers, and that's India. Now, I know a lot of other countries play it, and it's popular in a lot of other countries, but if India did not have it as its national pastime, cricket wouldn't have the numbers that it does. It would be more like a rugby where it's played all over the place, but on scale, it's probably less than basketball.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel about soccer as a whole, though. Just the fact that most countries don't have any other major sports. That's why so many are invested in soccer.
I mean, so I agree with you and I disagree with you. Like, that is, as much as I don't want to say it, from an American perspective.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? And I get it. And I agree with you in that sense. Because a lot of American sports have become global and are considered on that level. But some countries have always had their passions for other things, and those have maintained over, the decades and haven't really moved towards anything else. So what they might consider major sports is nowhere close to what we're going to be even remotely discussing. Which does make some of those other sports fun, like I might not pronounce this correctly, but Wile. You guys know what that is?
Is that indoor like racquetball kind of, but they have like a little hoop thing?
It's
hook? The hook. Yeah. That's badass.
Attaboy, Cody, my guy. But yeah, there's stuff like that where it's like super popular somewhere else. Most Americans probably never even heard of it or have seen it. It's crazy though and fun to watch. But back to the World Cup, the numbers it's doing and the games we're seeing, Pinky, I would agree with you. It's this run continues and you're going to see something really wild. What'd you think about the play, Pinky? Any thoughts as a casual viewer of the sport, if you will?
What team were they playing? They were playing Australia.
Australia, yep.
I mean, Australia just didn't have any offensive players. Like they could barely get the ball over to the, U.S. side of the field to make any shots on goal. It was pretty evident they didn't have, anybody that could score. So it's kind of an uneven match. So USA took care of business, looked good, had opportunities. They capitalized on them. I think my experience watching this game is I remember I went to the bathroom like twice because I was drinking a few beers, and you could always tell when a shot on goal happened because the crowd got really loud and then finished with oh. Because the shot, they shot it over the net or they shot it left or, it didn't quite hit the mark. You could tell. So, again, people were invested, which is what made it fun. And it was a good time. And people are starting to talk. What about USA making it all the way? Like, there's conversations being had about it. I don't know if they're on that level as some of the other teams, but, we can dream, right?
True. Just a solid observation about Australia. They are a defensive-minded team. They want to play back and look for a handful of counters that they can make a run on throughout the course of a game where they might be able to get a goal or two. Defense for the U.S. was probably the biggest question mark coming into the World Cup, at least for me. Whether anybody else wants to agree with that or not, that's up to them. But for me, it was. And they have played extremely solid, minus that ridiculous goal they allowed in that first game. But they continue to pressure. They continue to force action. They continue to allow that midfield to play up, which allows that front line to apply even more pressure towards the goal and push those back lines even further back towards their own goalie, which you don't want to be in those positions. Australia talked the whole time going into this game that they were going to be able to defensively hold the U.S. and get those couple counters that they needed, and it wasn't going to be good. And the U.S. came out and just, dominated that game, really, considering what Australia was trying to do. They're looking good. They're clicking. I love how in sync they look. Movements are meaningful. They're doing it with a purpose. People are on the same page when those runs are being made and recognizing the ball is moving in those directions, or the runs are made for a dummy to go back behind it of some sort. Passes are crisp, touches are solid. They just look really good right now. Would I say they're World Cup winning good right now? I am not saying that, because the level of competition they've played is not such that that could truly be decided yet.
My takeaway is they look solid without Pulisic in game 2.
Yes.
And once he's added, he brings another X factor to that team, and another X factor to how that offense is ran. Like, it still ran smoothly, either with him or without him.
It did. It absolutely did. And you saw, for anybody that doubted how good Pulisic is, you should have seen it in the first game when he's getting double and triple teamed and still getting through with the ball and then creating for his teammates. Some of the runs he made, some of the passes he gave on top of that are just quality, pure quality. So making sure he's fully healthy is huge.
Yeah, especially for the knockout rounds. Yep.
Absolutely. They win the group stage and they hang another couple goals here. They're looking at one of the higher seeds going into that knockout round. And that can create some wild scenarios for their possibilities of what they can do moving forward after that. But as it stands right now, they are playing incredibly good soccer, to where I would have them in the top quarter of teams easily. And I don't think anybody would have believed that going into the World Cup. Robert, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, based off of what's ahead of them, it's possible. The strength is there. I mean, it is World Cup magic, of course, at the end of the day. Host cities have done crazier things in the past, so I'm excited. They could emerge as a dark horse all of a sudden and kind of take the tournament. It'd be fun to see. But if they get to the semis, I'll be shocked. I'll be really shocked.
Yeah, I mean,
Pulisic needs to get healthy too, and I think we'll see a totally different team.
you want to pursue that semifinal type run, that magic run. You got to go out this next game and just hang as many goals as possible.
Absolutely.
Because you need one of those top 3 or 4 seeds basically for that next round, ensuring
100%.
the matchup that you think is going to be your most favorable.
Yep.
Robert, who
agree.
would you say is looking the best currently?
Dude, I don't know.
Whose form is just they're already sitting in that knockout stage form, ready for the next round.
I mean, the Netherlands looked pretty good. They struggled a little bit early on, but I think by the end, they looked really sharp.
They always seem, doesn't matter if they've got a name or not. They always seem to be in the mix there right at the end. That's a good call. That's a damn good call.
That's really who I'm seeing.
I personally like Norway.
Freaking Holland, man.
And Erling Haaland is the most terrified athlete to face against.
I would.
When he is that big, moving that fast at you, that's terrifying.
I would cry.
It's pretty wild. I like both of those. Norway's looking good. I mean, they're in France's group, so that creates some issues for them on potentially clinching the group, but they'll move forward.
Holland's going to take out Mbappe.
That will end in a 0-0 tie just to piss Peaky off.
Dude, that's going to be a game, I think. I think you're going to see a 4-3, 3-2. It's going to be a game. I think France is up there. They've looked really good. Messi is trying to etch his name as the GOAT if you didn't already have him. Leading goal scorer in World Cup history. That he'll probably only get a keep for this World Cup. Because Mbappe, I believe, is only a goal behind him currently.
Something like that. He's
At
not
this
far
rate,
behind.
like Mbappe's got at least one more World Cup. I would be surprised if Messi plays in another one. So, what does that say? But France is looking really good. Argentina, surprisingly, is looking really good in my mind. I thought they'd look a little bit more flat. They have not. They look stellar, if I'm being honest, compared to what I expected. I think England fell on their face today. I think that was
Oh my gosh, that was terrible.
that was a big, big issue for them drawing today. So that hurts. I think Portugal bounced back in a big way today. So that was a bit interesting. And they did, I would say exactly what I said I was hoping they would do and why I kind of picked them as my dark horse winner is Ronaldo played with everybody rather than they playing through him. He had a bunch of dummy runs. He had the dummy goal kick, free kick, still scored twice. Like if that's how they're going to play, especially from their midfield forward, Portugal could be dangerous if they can continue that form. That's going
That
to
would be
interesting
so
to see.
great.
Outside of that, man, I think honestly, like I don't think Germany's played quite anybody. They've looked really good, but I'm they're still in that upper echelon. I'm just not sure if they're in the group we just talked about as like looking on that form ready to go. And I probably
Like I
should
said,
say that because they've looked really good.
If they make it to the quarter or make it out of the quarterfinals, I'll be shocked. I think they'll make it there. I just don't think they're making it out of it.
Yeah, I mean, their group is kind of one that you're like, oh, well, yeah, you guys should be. If you're just looking on paper, you would think Germany would just walk through that group, and that's what they're doing. So they should probably be one of the top 2 or 3 teams, though, at this point, the way they've looked and played. I would be hard pressed to not say that, I think.
I would agree.
The other thing I would say that I have absolutely loved about this World Cup that you never quite know what you're going to get when a tournament starts. But the stars are shining in this World Cup right now. The guys that you expect to see playing at elite levels are playing at elite levels. And that just makes it that much more fun to watch.
Yeah, it's really been hard to put into words because it's just everything has been so. I mean, I know, like, yes, there's been some ties and things, but like the games have just been fun to watch. Nobody expected England to not score today. Like, it really is a very. I think the countries that have come to play with this 48 team size now have really come to shine and are putting their best foot forward and giving us all a challenge. And it's making this tournament a lot of fun. And Jamar, I personally would I really like Ronaldo. I don't know. I've just enjoyed him more than Messi. So that would be who I would say.
It's it's a really good argument either way, in my opinion. I mean, Ronaldo is the all-time leading goal scorer.
Yes.
In professional soccer history. I think he's like 40 away from 1,000.
Dude's
in his
insane.
career.
That's
Dude's
crazy.
an animal. Dude is an animal.
Messi brings a different style of play to the game. I mean,
He just finds ways to score, bro.
Different. So it's kind of what do you like more, that truly dominant goal scoring attacking player, or more of the guy that can do a little bit of everything where you're distributing and scoring and that idea. So I have a hard time with this one, and I truly can't pick one or the other. I know Messi keeps adding things to the list that seem like he's becoming insurmountable to not say he's the GOAT. But I've heard Argentinians argue that he's still only the second best Argentinian to ever play the game. So if his own countrymen are saying that there's somebody better than him in his own country and their history, then I think it becomes very viable for someone else to be argued as the GOAT. So if you want to pick Ronaldo, I wouldn't hate it. You want to pick Messi, I wouldn't hate it. You want to pick Maradona, I wouldn't hate it. You want to pick Pele, I wouldn't hate it. You want to pick Cruyff, I wouldn't hate it. You want to pick the other Ronaldo with only one Ronaldo, not a Cristiano in front of it, I wouldn't hate it. You want to pick Ronaldinho, you want to pick, like, I think there's a handful of
There's
guys.
arguments to be made for a lot of them.
Whether their stats are there or not, I think the argument could be made. I don't think it's clear cut. Jamar, I will say, I'll drop this on these boys. We won't have the conversation right now, but I've got a topic I'm going to throw out to our socials. Which sport has the hardest time picking the GOAT / also their Mount Rushmore? I think hockey's probably the easiest when it comes to the GOAT. It is Wayne Gretzky and then everybody else.
I could argue, but we'll say that for another day.
Yeah, what are you going to throw Gordie Howe in there?
I'm going to throw the grade 8 out there.
Okay, that's fine, and I'm not going to be mad about it. But I think in hockey that would be the easiest argument to have as far as who the GOAT is. I think you'll find more agreement there in a majority sense than any other sport. Football, people are going to try to say Tom Brady, but then you're going to get a whole lot of pushback from that, from a whole lot of different aspects and sources. Basketball, the Jordan and LeBron argument is always the top. But then you've got other people that will come in with Kareem and Wilt and Bill Russell and other things. So it is not clear-cut there. You look at baseball, I have no goddamn clue.
Nolan
People want to throw
Ryan.
Babe Ruth up there all the time because he's kind of the guy. But Hank Aaron's going to get brought up. There's some pitchers like a Cy Young, a Sandy Koufax. There are other names that are going to get brought into these conversations that do not make it clear-cut. You come to soccer, I just gave you 4 names that seem to be always at the top. And then I gave you a couple others that always seem to be kind of within or just around that argument. Some of these are really hard for me. I could tell you basketball for me is Jordan. And there's a lot of reasons for that to go just beyond stats. And that's not me as a LeBron hater. I have receipts talking about LeBron since he was in high school, telling people to watch out. This dude's going to be incredible. And I've said he's lived up to all the hype and then some. And to be able to navigate that in today's day and age is absurd.
I met a guy a couple weeks ago that got dunked on by LeBron in high school.
That's awesome.
It's like the highlight of his life.
Do I think LeBron's the second best player? I don't know. If I go through my list, I might have him there. I might end up somewhere. He's a 5. I'm not going to lie about that. But if I'm picking a team and I have to fill my small forward spot, the way I'm building my team, LeBron isn't going to be on my team. I'm going to choose Larry Bird.
Me too, buddy.
So these arguments to me are so much fun because I don't think there is an ability to truly define it because most of them never got to play against each other. So Messi or Ronaldo, Jamar, man, honestly, I'm kind of with Robert. I love Messi because he's kind of like that point guard. But the way Ronaldo puts the ball in the back of the net, some of his headers are some of the greatest highlights in soccer history. And that dude's showing like a 43-inch, 44-inch vertical. And they're just absurd. And Messi's got some of his own too, but I think that's probably where I would lean right now. But again, Messi's starting to do things. I mean, if Ronaldo doesn't win a World Cup, and Messi has some of these other records within the World Cup at the same time as all the records within the Champions League and things of that nature, I think my mind might be closer, a lot closer in the end, because it starts showing the ability to raise the level of those around you, and that's a different level of greatness. Few can do that. And while I think Ronaldo has done that and Messi has done that, Messi's starting to do it at a level that I don't know if I can say Ronaldo has, which means I start having to change things a little bit. So, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Robert, tell me this, and then we can move forward. As of right now, who would you say would you put your money on to win the World Cup? At this moment, which team would you have to go with?
Hmm. I'm gonna have to say the Netherlands.
Who?
The Netherlands.
Okay. Okay.
Like again, like Germany is a good team, but I also feel like right now it's hard to say because no one's really played anyone. It hasn't mattered yet,
Some truth to that.
so I can't. I just don't know because there's like in my opinion, Germany's still holding back. They're not playing with full force at this moment. I feel that the same way with France. They're not necessarily playing 100% dialed in. It's just group stages. Nobody's trying to play with full intensity, for injuries and etc. Like, it's really hard to say because I haven't seen anyone necessarily play their game yet.
That's fair. That's fair. Robert, I would say based on all things I've seen and the fact that I wasn't necessarily expecting to see them play this well, I would put my money on Argentina.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to go there. I don't want
Could
to
you
go
imagine
there.
if they went back to back?
I would be
That'd
so
be
pissed.
wild.
I would be
Dude.
so mad.
I'd be cool with it.
That'd be crazy.
Has that ever happened before?
Yes, but not since
It's not often.
what did I say? 44 or something like that.
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah. Robert can pull it up again. I think I put this in the post that we did when it started, and I talked about it a little bit. There's been 20 iterations. There's only been 8 winners, and I think it's only been done back to back.
Brazil, 1958 and 1962.
58 and 62. Okay, so not 44. 58 and 62. So still, long time ago by Brazil. So yeah, if Argentina did it, it would be a big deal. It would also give Argentina their 4th.
It would
World
also
Cup.
give Messi the ultimate GOAT status.
Messi would have 2. It would give Argentina their 4th. I mean, it would be pretty epic. Pretty epic. But yeah, I think that's where I would have to say, just all things considered and what you're looking at and what you're watching and the fact that they look like they're ready to defend their title, I would have them there. So, and then the fact that Messi went ahead and had a hattie the other day, like, he kidding me?
And
They
didn't he
were-
follow it
a
up
couple
with
of those were
two?
real
Didn't
nice.
he follow it up with 2 more goals in the game 2?
The hattie was game 2.
Oh
No, I thought the hat trick.
no!
was
Get the hattie was get the first game,
Yeah,
Was
and
it?
then he followed
Yes.
it. Then he followed it up with 2
Then he
goals.
did a brace.
Okay. I got it backwards then. Either way, it's stupid. It's just, they're looking good. So, I am so excited with the way the World Cup's gone so far. I am so happy to see all these people telling their truths about how much fun they're having in America and the lack of issues that everybody wants to try and force upon us that just aren't there. Come hang out. We're a lot of fun. You don't believe it? Just watch us for an hour or 2 and you'll realize that this is just what we do. Like,
Facts.
come hang out. You like sports? Cool. You're respectful. We're not going to have an issue. And by respectful, I mean you can't talk shit. Yes, you can. Just don't be a dick. Don't make it personal.
don't
in that
ruin it
sense,
for
and
everyone else.
everything's going to be fine, right, Pinky?
Oh, I mean, we can take it. We're big boys.
Unless you're Pinky and you poke the bear, and then you should probably just walk away.
That's
just
Pinky's
saying.
middle name. Pinky Poke the Bear.
I mean, I might get a little emotional. It's it's fine.
Oh goodness. Well,
I'm like the Hulk. I hold it inside until you until you push me too far.
yeah, there's a little bit of truth to that. A little bit of truth to that. We'll continue to watch. We'll continue to talk about it. USA. Pinky, where do you want to go to next?
I think we're gonna keep you talking. Robert, you can take a break.
Hey, man.
I'm just helping Robert out so he knows where we're going.
I appreciate it. Listen, I had a very packed for it. I didn't really get much of it in this week.
I
I'm
got
still
you, son.
behind on stuff.
You're good.
How did you, oh dude, House of the Dragons coming next week, Caleb. We gotta talk about it.
It
was out. It was
yesterday.
already
I
started.
know, I know. I haven't watched it. That's what I'm saying is I don't have anything to talk about.
Okay.
Like
I'm
I will
with
watch
ya.
it tonight.
Okay.
So yes,
That's a nonsense I could talk about.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
we'll
don't.
be talking about it. We're supposed to be doing it weekly. I'll give him a pass this time. I
Yes,
do have a
thank
nonsense
you.
topic with some information that fell into my lap that we will throw out there at the end just to poke the bear and the sun at the same time. It'll be fun. Giannis to the Heat was a move that should have happened a year ago, Pinky. I'm pretty sure if
Oh,
you go back
boy.
in our show's analog history, you will find me having this very conversation stating that if the Bucks wait another year, they're not going to get the deal that they should, and it's going to set them back, and it's not going to change what the Heat are doing at all. I love this move for the Heat, and that's because Pat Riley has a track record of once he gets his superstar, he figures out some magical way to put a team around them and be very competitive very quickly. Every single time. I will trust that that process will continue with Pat Riley and the Heat and that front office and that ownership. Giannis and Bam, and then what they decide to put around them is going to be dangerous. Don't forget, Andrew Wiggins and Norman Powell are still there, who are two quality players that you're putting next to two really good bigs. And those are two wing guys that can 3 and D a little bit. So I like that nucleus or core. Does that stay there? I don't know. Who knows with Pat Riley? You can guarantee that Bam and Giannis aren't going anywhere. Outside of that, everything else is on the table. But I still like it for the Heat a lot, and I think they're going to be fine. The 3 first will mean nothing because they'll be late round first, and as we all know, late round first in the NBA are next to worthless. The likelihood of hitting on those picks and creating a player that's actually going to contribute and matter to your team are slim. Just the nature and the track record of the NBA. So those 3 firsts only value truly to me lie in for the Bucks trade value. And whether or not they can get a rising young star with those or a kind of middle of the road status as far as veteran that is a star. And when I say middle of the road, I mean they're not late in their career as a veteran, but they do have some years in the league. So, think, Jokic is kind of a good example of that. He's still got some prime left. I'm not saying they would use those picks to trade for Jokic. That just kind of giving you an example of like the years in the league, a quality star, but they're on the back end of that career. So do you really build around them or do you kind of grab them and then fill in behind them, hoping you can get somebody else that can learn and become the star under them? That's what I think Milwaukee will have to do with the picks. This year, I think it all hinged on this year's draft for Milwaukee with the 10th and 13th. And they had to hit on one of those with somebody who's going to turn into their next cornerstone, their next franchise player. And while I like who they drafted, Pinky, Barrios out of Arizona, I think is a damn good guard. Damn good. And I think he's got a very high floor, and I'm not quite sure what that ceiling is. But I can't 100% say that I would say he's going to be a cornerstone that you build your franchise around. And then with the 13th pick, Nate Ammett out of Tennessee is interesting. He's kind of one of those guys that may take 3 or 4 years to truly develop, but then could be really damn good after that. Similar to kind of like what Giannis did. So I can't say they hit or missed on their picks right now because they're question marks in a good way. I see the potential there. I see the thought process. I like what they could develop into, but they have to develop into it. And not all guys are able to take those steps in order to develop into what your ability could truly be. I don't like what Milwaukee did. I think you got 2 pieces back in Hero and Jaime Jaquez that are what you put around a superstar, not what you build your team around. And they don't have a superstar, so you have 2 really good players, but they're not players that can carry your team in that normal sense of the word. And I like Tyler Hero a lot. I do. I think he's Austin Reeves, but you have to have a star with him. And they're not going to have that. I think Jaquez is a very interesting kind of, not quite triple double, but in that
I mean,
frame of being able to do a little bit of everything on the court in a really good way.
I feel like he could just be a consistent producer.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Game in, game out. Double, consistent.
Something exactly like that. The problem is, again, you don't have that star to carry on a night in and night out basis now. So this is going to be a team that, while could potentially have a pretty decent regular season in a couple of years, come playoffs, they're going to get exposed until they get that star. So I'll be watching to see what they do with those three first. They can do those to get stuff up to college, then it can get interesting. But right now, I think Miami basically fleeced Milwaukee.
I don't know if it's fleeced. I think it's a
Boston
good
is
deal.
saying, I think, man, if those three first turn into nothing,
Which they could.
that's how I see it right now. I mean, you
The
gave
hit
up
rate in the
Giannis
NBA
then
is fairly
for
low.
Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez. That's what you're going to end up trading Giannis for at this point. That's
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, though, like I feel like a lot of teams have been burned lately on making these kind of deals because they have to give up so much capital that they don't have a lot of team left.
Yep.
To it's tough. Like one of the only deals that's really worked out is Cat. And he went to a team that literally, like, most of the starters have played since college together. So, like, there's just a different level of chemistry with what the Knicks have, where Cat just added a little bit extra to help that team.
I mean, you could argue that Mikal Bridges deal looks pretty good for the Knicks now.
That one's not bad either.
And
that one helps.
is still insanely stupid, even with the championship ring on their fingers. So, yeah, I mean, it's all case by case.
Obviously, the Gobert deal hasn't worked out.
I think that was an awful deal. I said the Dame deal that Milwaukee
the
went
Dame
after
deal was bad.
Deal. I like this one.
This one. I think the Luka deal's gonna end up, kind of being a bad deal overall.
No, not kind of. That's an awful deal. The kicker there, though, is we all know what happened, and then Dallas lucked out and got Cooper flagged to reset their franchise, which is going to be easy peasy. He's a stud.
Adds to the conspiracy theory.
Milwaukee is not getting that. And
right.
Here's the danger that they're going to fall into next year. They could be so bad such that with the new lottery rules, they won't get a high draft pick. So then how do you ever reset the franchise? I don't like this deal at all. The way they went about it, who they ended up dealing him for, and where to. Miami's more than happy to tap into the aprons to put a team into a championship contender. They're more than happy to pay the taxes.
I think this is a situation where you go all in. You got Giannis, spend the money.
I'm telling you, they will. And that's why, again, I think what they gave up is not that much in comparison. Miami also got Bobby Portis in the deal, who's a solid role player.
Right. Look, this is still a wait to see.
Riley in the front office worked their magic like they have in the past with a proven track record. Don't be surprised if you see Miami competing for one of those top 3 or 4 seeds in the East next year in a legit way. Not just because the East is terrible and that's where they got to. In a legit championship contending way. I'm just saying. They have a way of doing it. So, healthy Giannis, healthy Bam, Norm Powell, Andrew Wiggins sticks around, Bobby Portis is still there, and they fill in some pieces from there. It's going to be a dangerous team. Don't forget, Eric Spoelstra is still one of the best coaches in the league, too.
That is true. That is true.
I just really like this for Miami. I don't like it for Milwaukee. They waited too long. They could have done this deal with Miami last year, Pinky. And while Miami's pick might have been worse for them, their pick would have probably been in the top 4, and they would have gotten one of those franchise cornerstones to build around, plus still having all of those other pieces. So again, that's why I don't like this deal the way it was done when it was done. But we shall see.
Right. Well, part of everything you just talked about was NBA draft is going on currently. I gotta say, kind of hate this being 2 days. I don't think we really need 2 days for the NBA draft, but whatever.
You are absolutely correct because there's absolutely no reason that the second round should be televised.
Because the hit rate is so low.
Yeah, and let's be honest, the greatest player in the world right now, regardless of who you want to say won the MVP and who everybody wants to try and crown the greatest, Jokic was drafted while the NBA ran a Taco Bell commercial. So don't tell me the second round is worth being viewed. And that's coming from a guy who watches it, okay? I can't help myself. And I know some of the guys I have no clue who they are. And I just pray that those foreign experts have done their due diligence and give me a solid rundown of who that guy is.
The other problem I have about the NBA draft as a whole is they talk good about everybody. Everybody. They make you believe like everybody's going to make a roster.
There is a bit of that happens.
Like I think there's okay if you've got like two guys that want to be like really nice and talk good about everybody. I feel like you got to have one guy that's like, I think this is a bad fit for this player. This team doesn't run an offense that's going to help them or something. Like I want to hear something different to make it entertaining. Just hearing good stuff makes you go, wow, this guy's going to be awesome. Oh, wait, he didn't even make the squad. Oh, okay.
That's fair. Pinky, the draft in itself has pretty much gone exactly as everybody expected, pick for pick.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty common in the NBA for the most part. It's rare that there's a big surprise. There was a pick, though, that really caught my interest for a number of reasons. That was a little bit later. And I want to ask you this question to move us into the pick. Giannis was one of the biggest Band-Aids, we'll say, that I said needed to be ripped off and the deal needed to be moved on from or made to move on from. Or just reset. It was time, given the situations. Do you remember who I would probably classify as my second biggest Band-Aid that needed to be ripped off? And I said this one probably even before Giannis. Also Eastern Conference. Also a former MVP.
Jason Tatum.
No.
No, yeah, Tatum's not been MVP.
He is not.
I don't know. Eastern Conference MVP? Oh.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I don't even count him. But
and I've talked about how Philly, regardless of the talent, I've said even if later in his career somehow he got healthy and showed his true talent, was able to play a full season, win a championship, I would still be okay had I moved on from him.
I don't even know how you could trade for him.
But that's where you're at now, right? Had you done it when I had originally discussed it, for the reasons I had given you, you wouldn't be in the situation they're in now where you have two quality guards in VJ Edgecombe and Maxey, who are, Maxey's all NBA. VJ Edgecombe was in Rookie of the Year conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted small forward, but kind of in a similar mold of that really athletic, able to handle the ball, play on the outside, fast. They grabbed.
You talking about last year?
No, this year. They
haven't
drafted.
They didn't draft unless they traded for a pick.
76ers drafted Phylon with, I think it was the 23rd pick. Let me go back here.
The 23rd pick was the Hawks with Elafor.
The 22nd pick. I apologize. And they did trade it.
So the 22nd pick's not even like on this list that I'm looking at.
LeBaron Phylon Jr. out of Alabama, a guard. I like the pick a lot. And it's very interesting that they're running those three guards now And they're keeping all 3 of them for damn sure. That's going to be a dangerous backcourt that they can run at people. And it reminds me very similarly to kind of what OKC has done and what San Antonio has done with their backcourts. And now you're kind of seeing that happen with another team, but in the Eastern Conference. And it's just something I noticed that I'm going to be paying attention to as we move forward. New York is very similar in that regard too, and they won the championship. Kind of more guard, small forward wing type team that you can put a big in with and run that lineup through people and make them have to guard everyone. And that's a dangerous combination. And it looks like Philly is kind of moving towards that model. So that was something I just, outside of everything kind of going the way you expected, that was something I found pretty interesting, actually, because that was a name that, honestly, I was hoping would drop to the Nuggets and they would be able to grab.
Nuggets are on the clock.
That they are. And they have been, I think, awful at drafting would still be too kind. What they've done over the last handful of years. Booth was terrible.
Booth was not great. All right, let's get Cody back into the conversation. Welcome back, Cody.
Well, once you brought up that picture, let's talk about it. Brady to Chuck to join his brother. The Florida Panthers had an off year because of injuries. And they got a lot of guys returning. The only piece they're going to be missing is how they address their goaltending with Bobrovsky entering free agency. But the Florida Panthers are about to turn into the most hated team in the NHL.
Oof.
Let's just go there right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably a good, yeah.
Because you got the Chuck boys, and you still got Brad Marchand, the Rat. So that team is going to be really greasy, really grimy. And they're also going to be really good with Barkov coming back from injury. So don't be surprised if Florida has about $9 million cap space. Free agency starts July 1st. And there's a lot of big names out there, which we could possibly address next week. But, the Florida Panthers are going to be a fun team to watch just because of how much drama are they going to cause each and every game.
Love that. I don't love the Panthers, but I do love that they'll cause some havoc and be fun.
Yeah.
What I love about it is twofold. One, Tkachuk forced Ottawa's hand in the just best way possible. One of those I like that pick. Like that pick a lot. What do you know?
Who'd they pick?
Terrence Reed Jr. out of UConn.
All right.
Oh, nice.
I like that pick a lot, actually. Back to hockey, sorry. He only had a year left on his deal. And he basically said, it's Florida or nothing. I'm not agreeing to anything else. I will not restructure. I will not resign. I will not do an extension wherever you trade me to unless it's Florida. So good luck. And Ottawa tried, and nobody else would take. So then it came down to they basically had to accept what Florida offered. And lucky for them, Florida offered a somewhat competitive package.
Yeah, Florida basically said, your favorite phrase, F them picks, baby.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I do like what Ottawa turned around and did. They traded the 9th overall pick to the San Jose Sharks for William Eklund. And Eklund is not a bad player to put with Stützle there in Ottawa. So Ottawa's going to be still a young team. I don't see them getting to the playoffs. They might have a year of rebuilding, but they do have a good young core going into this. And now we got NHL draft, which is the end of this week, which we all know Gavin McKenna is going to be going to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I still think this is just the beginning of big names being traded based on the Maple Leafs.
Hey, Hey,
I wasn't gonna. Yes, I'm.
Yeah.
aware. That's why I'm over here. God,
Nuggets just
Great
traded
move
their
for San
pick
Antonio.
anyways.
great goddamn move for San Antonio.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So,
I didn't want to interrupt you. Denver traded the pick. They traded Terrence Reed Jr. to San Antonio for a second rounder and some other bullshit.
nice.
Just damn.
Yeah. So we know what Toronto's going to be doing. Like I said, I feel like this Brady to Chuck move is just the beginning of big names being moved. Couple names to look out for around this draft time is Connor Hellebuck, the USA goalie. Wouldn't be surprised if he decided to join the Tkachuk boys in Florida, or going to the hated Vegas Golden Knights, which I think all of us would hate.
Yeah, those seem to be the two names that keep popping up for everybody right now, it seems like, in trade rumors. The second part of that Tkachuk that I was going to say before I lost my mind with this Denver shit again, go figure. He forced their hand because of his ability to talk about his deal. And then on top of that, there is this weird kind of, and maybe I'm off here, Cody. I kind of heard somebody talk about this on some sports talk radio. I don't think they took it quite this far, but because I only got bits and pieces as I was working. But it's starting to feel like Team USA is either not welcome in Canada or doesn't want to be in Canada anymore, i.e. playing for Canadian teams. And it's starting to feel like anybody that was on that Team USA roster that won gold, before this offseason is done, if they're still on a Canadian team now, they won't be by the start of next year. Am I off on that?
You are completely, I heard the exact same thing. That's why I said I wouldn't be surprised if Connor Hellebuck from Winnipeg gets moved and Austin Matthews gets moved.
Is this these boys doing it to play with each other in the NHL, or is this kind of Canadians being like, man, we can't really root for you guys. The team needs to get rid of you.
See, it's a little bit of both. Like, you know, you win a gold medal together, and of course that's going to build your brotherhood, you know. Those are brothers for life, you know, with that whole team unity and stuff. So like there's a quite a bit of USA names that want to be moved, like Dylan Larkin from Detroit. He wants out and he wants to go play for Golden Knights, or he wants to go play with a USA teammate. He doesn't care where, you know. He has a short list. Hellebuck has a short list. Wouldn't be surprised if Austin Matthews gets moved. So yeah, like it's a little bit of everything, like both that the Canadian markets to play for are so, like, you're under a microscope 24/7. And not a lot of players want that, you know?
You mean the CFL isn't getting the headlines in hockey season?
No, sir. Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, the NHL draft is the end of this week. We know we know basically who the Maple Leafs are taking. They're going to take Gavin McKenna. He has the potential to be a 100-point player. And he's going to be playing with the big dogs right away. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. I'd be surprised if he doesn't play with the big boys right away. Now, at the second pick is San Jose, and they got a lot of avenues to go down. This draft is
here, right? They have 8 first-round picks.
Yeah, they just acquired another one today from Ottawa. So they have 2, 9, gosh, and then they have like a bunch through the teens all the way into the 20s.
Think about that, Pinky. Did you hear what I just said? Like, think about that in any other sport, but let's just put it in NFL terms. If one team had 8 first-round picks in a draft, like, if you don't completely reset your franchise in one fell swoop of that draft, everybody should be fired.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now that 2 pick is not gonna get moved unless it's a gigantic name like Austin Matthews or or something of that caliber. That 2 pick is going to be taken because this draft is going to be deep in defensemen. Remember that, folks.
Okay.
This draft is super deep. If you need to reestablish that blue line, this draft is what you want to do it with. And the Sharks, like you said, have a lot of picks in this first round. Don't be surprised if they try to acquire a big name with these picks.
Yeah, move those
Do a
picks.
trade. Yep, move those picks.
8 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Absurd.
They have a lot of firepower to build around Macklin Celebrini, so don't be surprised.
Golly.
Yeah.
And they've got Celebrini on the team already. Like, this isn't like we don't have
Yeah,
somebody
they
to build
have-
around already. We
They
gotta find
have
somebody.
room to build around the young core because they have Celebrini and they also have Will Smith, who is young.
Golly.
Those two, they get a third one that is those two with a third young piece is going to be really
Oh, I
terrifying
know who I'm
for years to
researching
come.
here over the next couple of weeks. It's that front office for the San Jose Sharks. Dear Lord, how do you?
Yeah, let me look up to see how much cap space they got going into this free agency because
Yeah,
I think
I've got some research to do, but that's wow. Just that's what I'm talking about, baby. If you're gonna reset, do it. Reset.
Yeah,
Sell
the
your
Sharks-
assets, start over, and get what you need.
I'm going to say this one more time. Don't be surprised if they move some picks because they got $46 million in cap space.
Damn, that's a lot for hockey.
Holy shit.
When you're talking,
Yeah.
your top dudes are making what, like
They
year?
and they have to make a move to get some salary because they are 19 million under the floor. So don't be surprised if the San Jose Sharks are a terrifying team to play against.
Interesting. That's the Caleb model of
Yeah, because I don't know if you know this, Robert. Hockey has a floor salary cap, so you have to have so much salary paying these players, and it's $76.9 million for a cap floor,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
and the cap limit is
9 is the floor, and they
yeah
have
76.9 million, and the cap limit is 104 million.
The San
That's
Jose
wild.
Sharks can draft a whole team in the first round and then go out and pay for a full team with their salary cap availability.
That's
the
wild.
craziest. Yeah, I'm going to be researching this a little more because when I heard that today, you're just making it even more wild for me, Cody.
Yeah, I knew they had a bunch of cap space. That's why I had to look it up.
Damn. That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Good stuff, buddy. Good stuff. So they are on their way.
Yeah, and I also want to say one last thing to look out for is don't be surprised if our boy Kel McCarr gets extended this offseason.
It's happening.
I mean, he's definitely not going anywhere.
Yeah,
He's
they're going to
not
get
going
that deal done because I think the Avs have like $9 million in cap space, but he's owed $9 million this year, and then he's a free agent next year, so they got plenty of cap space to extend him after in the next offseason. So
Would I
get
be
it
out of
done now.
line? I think I've said this to you before, Cody, and you agreed with me, but I'll say it again. Am I out of line saying that the Avs have 2 of the top 5 players in the NHL on their team?
You're not wrong.
Okay. Okay.
I would say you probably have 3 of the top 15 with Martin Neckes.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They just all disappeared in the playoffs.
Yep.
I don't.
They disappeared in that night
gonna
series.
get
They
into it.
disappeared.
Last time I
Well,
really started getting my
McCarr
Avs, I was 12
was
and
hurt
it
most
turned
of
out to
that
be-
series.
Remember what happened last time I gave a breakdown of the Avs and their miserable playoff losses, Pinky, and everybody told me I was stupid, and then going into the next season, it turned out to be the most true statement possible. Remember that?
No.
Goalie can't get beat glove side. You can't be that weak. You can't allow those things to happen. And everybody said, oh, but the defense didn't help him. That boy's ass was gone in the offseason, and they brought in 2 new goalies. And they came out and said, not just with their actions, but with their words, that the play was not enough and it was unacceptable for what they had in front of him. I got my own takes on the Avs this year too, and it's not. There were issues. There were issues, but I'm honestly, and I very rarely do this, am going to give the opposing team the issue.
Let's be real. Dan
And
Housen
the
didn't do
issue
his
was
part.
Hart playing like a goddamn number 1 goalie in the world out of nowhere, standing on his head for everything, and then going into the Stanley Cup Finals and disappearing. The man had the game and series of his life against the best team in the NHL in the Colorado Avalanche, and they could not score on him. And then he went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and he got his ass boat raced. That just is what it is. And that happens all the time in sports. I'm not mad about it. There are example after example throughout sports history of some no-name dude or some middle-of-the-road, good quality but not great player going off in the biggest moments and helping his team win. So, but that, say what you want. That's how I saw that series a lot more than the Avs being the issue. And yes, they had their faults. But the issue was the Vegas goalie playing the best he's ever played in his entire life and then that disappearing the very next series.
I agree
It do
with
be
you
like
there.
that. You got your good days and your bad days.
Yeah, buddy.
Cody, I got one last hockey question for you before we move forward.
Yes, sir.
Is next year one of the most brutal swan songs that we'll see in sports, and especially in hockey, with it potentially being Crosby and Ovechkin's last season?
Ovechkin, that's a big question mark. Ovechkin may be done. He may be, but also the Caps made a move where it would be enticing for Ovechkin to come back and run it back one last time. And I would say it's Crosby's last ride. I would agree with that statement because I believe Evgeny Malkin is a free agent this year. This
And you're
offseason.
talking about 2 of the 10 best hockey players ever?
Yep. I would give
I don't know if I can put
Ovechkin
them
top.
both in the top 5.
I'd give Ovechkin top 2. We're not going to argue this right now, who the GOAT is, but I would say Ovechkin is top 2, if not top 3.
Yeah. So I can't think of another time in sports history where you've had 2 of the top 10 players playing their last season at the same time. So
They
if
came
that
in.
is what happens next year, that would be wild.
Yeah, they came in together, and they're probably going to leave together. I wouldn't be surprised.
Crazy. That would be crazy. Cody, remind me of that. That's a topic I need to throw out there as the preseason for hockey starts.
Yeah, we'll definitely with me being around more, we'll chop up some hockey more often a little
that'll
bit.
be good. Now I just need to get a baseball guy to come join us, and then I can start talking everything again, Pinky.
Hey, I can chop up baseball with you, but
Look at his face.
but I don't think people will
allow
appreciate that. But
I allow golf and
Oh,
soccer on this channel.
And the
There's
Olympics.
and the Olympics. Like, there's only so much I can do, fellas.
I get playoffs, and I'll get Ohtani in there from time to time, but I had to. It's just a little poke.
a little bit. We kind of got a split house now, so.
Oh man, I
Love
love
it.
Okay, Pinky, you had a football topic, and then I've got a nonsense that I want to throw back up. A rehash.
I don't think we got enough time for football. What's your rehash?
Well, what was the football topic? We still got 10 minutes.
No. It might take longer than 10 minutes. We'll do it another time. We got time.
Okay.
We got time.
So the rehash is a versus battle that I had posed to you guys at one point in time from a Star Wars universe to a DC universe character.
Oh no,
Are we
not this
remembering
one.
this
Oh,
said
God.
conversation?
Yeah, and your
Okay, hang
argument
on,
was
though.
awful.
I have been given some new information, and I ran this by Andy before I brought it to you guys, and he agreed that it made it an interesting conversation, a viable almost conversation, if you will. And I can't remember who said this and where I saw it, but it was a credible comic book source that Robert has pointed me in the direction of. I just can't remember which one it was at this point in time because I don't know them well enough. But it has been stated as canon in DC that the mind can thought process a thought and think quicker than the speed of light, quicker than Superman himself can move. So, with that being the said canonized situation, does that cause either one of you to now think that Anakin might actually have the ability to make this a battle? I'm not going to say win because I know where you guys stood the first time. But knowing that fact now, does it make you guys think that this could maybe at least be a battle now rather than just an obliteration like you had originally stated?
No, Superman is still destroying Anakin Skywalker, period.
But Anakin could literally just freeze him with the Force.
He can't.
The mind, mechanically, the mind thought can think faster than Superman can move. So Anakin can think with the Force to freeze him.
I don't think Anakin has the necessary power to freeze the fastest human being alive. Well, alien alive, because he's not human. It's not going to happen.
Robert, I saw that glint. I saw this catch your mind and wheels start turning. What's going through the thought process right now?
I mean, yes, but I still don't think he'd be able to stop him. I still think Superman would be the one to be on top, for sure.
Fair, you still think Superman wins, but does it become an argument now for you? Where before you said it was just, there was nothing to discuss, basically.
I still don't think so. I still think Anakin gets his ass pummeled.
I appreciate that you were thinking about trying to find other ways to make this work.
Well, I wasn't, so in fairness, I had let it go. For a few different reasons, but I was just trying to learn some more comics through sources that Robert has given me and just kind of watching some videos and trying to learn some more lore. And this was a debate that these people were having, in a sense, not specifically Anakin and Superman. It was Superman versus like telekinesis and things of that nature. And how canonically it's now been stated that the thought is faster than the speed of light, which means it would be faster than Superman. So it brought in new characters for discussion on who might be viably able to stop Superman. Maybe not defeat, but stop. And that conversation and that thought process.
Would I agree that is it possible he could slow Superman down? I could agree with that. But Superman is still ripping his head off and bathing in his blood.
So, I mean, you see Kylo Ren and a number of others, but Kylo Ren straight freeze a blaster bolt. Freeze it. And forces it to stay there while he does whatever the F he wants to. And then once he decides he's done and gets on his ship, then it moves. And that's Kylo Ren.
But we don't acknowledge the sequels here.
That is not true.
It's mostly true, but
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think so. But okay,
we don't acknowledge them.
And
we wish they weren't canon.
And I'll say that Andy's the nicest guy I know, and he was just being nice to you. So
no, because the conversation didn't go the same way the first time. I brought new information that he was willing to acknowledge, made it an interesting conversation.
Because he's a nice guy. So
he didn't say Anakin would win. Then he's able to do something you're not, which is admit fault. Okay, all right.
There's no fault. I said would I agree that he might slow him down? Sure, but he is still spending the night bathing in his blood.
I think that fact alone legitimately, I think that fact alone proves my side correct that Anakin would beat Superman.
Not a
No,
chance.
no.
Not a chance.
I don't know how you guys don't. If the thought of whatever he wants to do is faster than Superman can move, what makes you think he would only slow him down? He would literally freeze him from being able to move at all.
No, he's not freezing
We're on
Superman.
an
Because
island. On this one, buddy.
because Superman's gone up against other telepaths to like slow him down.
Yeah, but
So,
this
like,
isn't
there's just...
telepathy. It's the Force. There is a difference. This isn't just the mind. This is the universal constant.
No. No. Not buying it.
Sorry, bro. Try
You don't
again.
have to be sorry. I'm just saying. I bring facts to conversations to create a debate. You pick your side. I'm good with whatever.
But you're also thinking that force is stronger than Superman in any shape, way, or form.
I absolutely believe the Force is stronger than any version of Superman.
No.
No.
Absolutely believe that. 100%.
Nope.
Not a
It's not
chance.
whether or not the Force is stronger than Superman. It's whether or not somebody is strong enough in the Force to use it against Superman. That's the question.
No chance.
Yes.
Nope.
Absolutely.
Nope.
No
nope,
chance.
Nope.
Not a
Now I
chance.
need to find some legit, like, hardcore comic nerds that can have this.
They're gonna
debate
be
for
like
us
Superman will
using,
win.
like, legit, like, source material and stuff to make it like a quality debate, like we would have with like football or something. Because I don't think any of us know enough truly about either character. Well, think we could do enough about Anakin, but I don't think either one of us, any of us know enough about DC lore and Superman as a whole to truly have this conversation.
Andy
I might be
does.
wrong, but
Andy does.
yeah, I think Andy probably does, and I think I truly made him think. I don't think it changed his mind, but I think it truly made him think.
That's fair,
Again,
I guess.
I said I would agree that it's possible he could slow him down, but Superman is
I don't
still
think that-
killing
yeah.
him.
Yep.
Any
So.
final thoughts, gentlemen? Topics you wanted to throw out there that we need to make sure we've had?
I'll throw a plug out there for a movie you can check out when it hits streaming. This is
I've heard about
What is this?
This is The Death of Robin Hood from A24, which usually puts out pretty good movies. This is a different take on Robin Hood.
Never even heard this. Is it out already?
Yeah, it came out this
Okay.
last weekend.
What, on theaters?
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's like me. He's like, those things that I used to walk into in the dark sometimes.
Yeah, if you actually go to movie theaters, you would know these things.
For those of us who don't have as much time to go see movies, I would go ahead and wait till this one hits streaming. It's still good. I enjoyed it, and I liked the take of Robin Hood. And there was a couple things in the story that I was like, I really enjoyed. I actually felt like, I don't know if anybody's seen The Norseman.
Yeah, great movie.
I thought that was fucking boring and horrible. This is a better version of that movie.
Why does that
in my
not
opinion?
surprise me?
That movie was really hard to watch, and I'm pretty sure I just don't like that director. So
I mean, if you don't like a director's
It was-
style, it's really easy,
the-
regardless of what anybody else thinks about a movie.
I was excited for The Norseman. I like most of the actors in it. It was weird. It doesn't hit home for me. I felt like this was a kind of better version of what
Okay.
that could have been.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if this story could have been told from just a normal, situation. They used Robin Hood to tell the story. It's basically Robin Hood was not a hero in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, that's even more interesting.
All
Okay.
of the tales of Robin Hood are made up.
Fun. Okay, I like that. I like that thought process.
So it's pretty good reimagining. And they played it off well. Hugh Jackman played a great character. The female in the movie, she really has to deal with some real dark stuff.
Good. Good.
So
That's what you want in a movie.
yeah,
Real
it
life.
makes you question what would you do, right? So
Okay.
good stuff.
Robert, Cody, any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Go ahead,
Supergirl
Robert.
comes out this weekend, so looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully I'll get some time to do it. I'm gonna be finishing moving, so we will see if that makes it into the time. Otherwise, Odyssey's coming up. I got my tickets for the IMAX 70 mil. I'm super stoked to see that. That'll be my first 70 mil experience. Yeah, so I'm just hanging and got to have some good time with my friends that came out from Seattle. So it was a really busy, fun weekend, and I'm ready to catch up on all the things that I've missed the last 4 days and have some good debate with you all this week. And Cody, I'll be reading this book. I'm gonna plow through it. I'm so ready.
NHL drafts at the end of this week. Night of Champions is Saturday. Then we got an AEW event on Sunday. So a lot of good wrestling this weekend, hopefully.
Yeah, buddy.
I got a birthday. I got my son's birthday party this weekend, so I won't get to watch any wrestling. But you know what? You can only you gotta appreciate the time with the family. So
Pinky will watch it for you. You're good, Cody.
that's why they got replay, you know?
That's true.
So
all right, gentlemen. Well, USA.
USA.
I mean, come on. Two Deutschland fools up here that have no ties with just absolutely bonkers.
Deutschland über all.
On that note, please hit all the buttons. Like, follow, share, subscribe. We appreciate the support. We need more of it. You think you want to talk about something? You got a topic you want us to discuss? Hit us up on the socials. Let us know. Interact. We love it. Take those quality moments with your family, loved ones, friends, inner circle, whoever you consider that to be, and cherish them. Do not take them for granted. Something comes up. Don't feel bad about canceling something else to do it with that inner circle. On that note, appreciate all of you. Next week.
Pinky in the building, reppin' orange and blue. Broncos country, yeah, you know how we do. High take so wild, you remember the name. From college ball to the pros, Caleb spitting game. Robert here, the pop culture plug. From comics to racing, pour the drink in the mug. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, yeah, bold talk. Good laughs and a glass in the air. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, right? Kick back, tune in, take a wild size.